Hey, it's Penny and Katie, and welcome back to Pocket Coaching. If you guys didn't get a chance to listen to last week's Pocket Coaching, we really recommend you go back and listen to that first, as it really does lay the foundation of what we're going to be coaching on today.
So last week, we talked about being empowered to be your own and your pet's own health advocate. And at one point, we mentioned having a well-rounded healthcare team or community. And I think that that's just really worth diving into a little bit more. And, you know, what I see a lot is people have their one person that they go to for all of their healthcare needs. For most people, that's their primary care physician, right? Their primary doctor. And they go to this person for everything. And we have to take a step back and think about if we are bringing all of our health concerns, questions, problems, preventative ideas, all of the things, if we are bringing that to one person with one background, education, experience, right? We're only getting one perspective. So please have a medical provider on your team, like first and foremost, yes. And think about what other areas you might need support with that individual doesn't have the background or experience for. So for me, being a dietitian, of course, I'm thinking about nutrition. In the usual medical training, doctors don't get education on nutrition. They maybe get a couple hours. So if you have questions about nutrition, go to someone who knows about nutrition, right? If you have questions about preventative strategies, lifestyle strategies, herbs, essential oils, whatever it is, seek out the person who has that background and that experience and knowledge so they can support you in that way. And that's really what I mean when I say have a well-rounded healthcare team, so that you're getting these different backgrounds and perspectives for all of the things. And not only then do you have each person's like you can go to them with your questions, but you can learn from them, right? And then you're hearing these other perspectives and you're gaining more knowledge by surrounding yourself with these different folks so that you have more options and you can continue to build that knowledge for yourself so that going forward, you can continue to be that confident health advocate.
I love that bit. I love the fact that you've just said that is actually a two-way thing, that you're getting the opportunity to learn by listening to a whole range of perspectives. Not only are you getting a better amount of light shed on a situation because you're getting information from this training perspective, that idea, this point of view, but you're also able to learn from that and take away. You'll be a richer person as a result of that. I think that's a super important point, and that totally comes across into the animal world as well. Again, I mean, it's even harder for vets. I mean, I have some issues with some things that some vets will talk about, right? They'll make no secret of that. But I have enormous respect and admiration for vets, because not only are they trying to learn every single medical thing, right? They've got to be a cardiologist, they've got to be a skeleton expert in joints and things like that. They need to know about the teeth and the behavior and the infectious disease, right? They have to know all of the medical things about, but they've got to do that for like multiple species. It's not even their own body that they're familiar with. They've got to totally learn it for different species and then try and be an expert in all of them. This is literally impossible to do. So as important as it is in the human world to have those range of perspectives, I really can't help but think it's even more important when it comes to your pets, because there are vets out there who are large animal practice vets. So these are vets who look after sheep, horses, goats, cows, the farm animals, right? And even within that, there's a big group. And then you have the small animal practice and the dogs and cats and hamsters and rabbits. But what if you've got a really particular thing for your cat? What if you really want to have a cat specialist? Or if you really want to have a kidney specialist or an oncologist? Your general practitioner vet won't have that same depth of knowledge. So as much as I admire them for what they do and how much they've learned and all that, I really can't help but think it's exactly the same for what Katie was talking about. You need to put together a team. The more perspectives that you have, you don't have to use the team every single time you have an appointment or a checkup or anything like that, but it's someone that you know that you can go to, whose opinion you trust, whose expertise is strong enough to give you, because again, it's just coaching for you. We want you to feel like you are able to make the decision, because at the end of the day, you're signing the consent form, or you're saying, yes, give that drug, or yes, we're going to sign up for that therapy. You're the one making the decision. So by listening to the whole range of opinions, you are really making a far better decision than you would be. And as again, you're getting the chance to learn as well. You guys are so committed to learning. You wouldn't be here with us doing this now. You wouldn't have joined our summit and all the rest of it if you weren't wanting to learn. So this is an amazing chance as well for you to continually grow. But sometimes as well, we forget that we can say no. And I think that's worth repeating. You know, if someone offers you something that you don't feel is right, whether that's for you or for your pet, you can say no. You're the one in control. You're the leader. And
you can get a second opinion.
You can get a second opinion.
A different perspective.
You don't have, I think the strong point that I want to make in this coaching is you don't need to be passive in this. You get to be the leader. You get to make the decision. You get to advocate for yourself, so long as you don't fall into the trap of believing that you have to abdicate that power or authority to someone who's wearing a white coat because they're wearing a white coat. You're just as valid as they are. And ultimately, you're the one who has to live with the decision. They don't. They just go on to the next patient, right? Believing that they did the best thing that they could, because of course they are doing the best thing that they know, right? But you're the one who has to live with the decision. So know when to say yes and when to say no. And again, the specialist is just a specialist for when you need specialists is really critical.
Yeah, and when we think about and talk about like cultivating this team, I think your own feelings and intuition about each person is really important and valid, and making sure that this team that you're building, the practitioners, whether it's for you, for your pet, that they make you feel heard. I think that's really important. Not just, making sure that you have a well-rounded team, but of individuals who not only have varying backgrounds and experiences and approaches and whatnot, but that you vibe with them, that you don't leave that appointment feeling like you didn't get a word in, right? That they treat you as part of your healthcare team and they listen to you and they value your opinion and perspective. So that's the first kind of thing I want to say. And the second thing I want to say, which is the obvious that I feel like I have to point out because we are in the age of like social media, and that is please make sure that whoever you are learning from or is supporting you knows what they are talking about. There are so many people in the health and wellness and even longevity realm now who are talking about a lot of different things that they don't have the education for. So just be mindful of that. For example, in many states here in the US, people can call themselves a nutritionist with literally zero education, knowledge, whatever. I could call my dog a nutritionist if I wanted to. Like, it literally means nothing in many states. So just use that critical brain that you're always using for your own health, for your pet's health, to keep learning, and don't be afraid to ask questions and to look a little bit deeper and vet some of these people and make sure that they have the credentials, the education, and then that you guys just have that vibe and they make you feel heard. So that was the last little bit. Again, I feel like it's obvious, but I have to say it. Anything else you want to add?
just one tiny thing on the end of that, and that is having a positive relationship, having a friendship with your medical providers, whether it's for you or your pets, is the dream. Back in the day, it used to be that you got the family doctor, and as a kid, like, I had the same family doctor all the way through growing up that my parents had for years, and they knew everything about our family health wise, right? There's a bond, there's a sense of community, there's a sense of trust, there's a sense of longevity with that relationship. And that going to the doctor is almost like seeing a friend, who's got some wise advice for you and some insights. That's the dream. So that's what I would suggest people look for, is people that they actually really love spending time with, as so that when you get the medical advice, you feel like it's worth it. You can trust it. It's worth paying for, and it's worth doing because you know that they've got your best interests at heart. When you feel like you're being rubber stamped, or your animals are just being rubber stamped and churned through on a mill, you know, that's missing the point massively, I think. So always aim for the big dream.
I love that. Thank you for adding that. I think that's really important. All right, well, as we're wrapping up, just a quick reminder that today is the last chance to grab our Black Friday bundle of resources to help you be a confident health advocate for yourself and for your pets during the holiday season and really into the new year. So for more information, go to petandparentlongevity.com/Black Friday. All right, until next week.
Bye.